Yeah, I mean, it's so fucking scary because it's a huge step.
We're here in beautiful San Francisco. We're getting visas. We travel across the world to go make a phone.
On the way to the consulate, everyone says, passport.
The most important thing.
Check. Got it. Can't get far without that.
We've done it. We have dropped off the passports. We're going back. Well, hopefully. We'll find out in a couple days.
3 days later.
We did it. We are now certified to go back to China, this time as business people. Doing business things, building phones, working in factories. Very crazy, very crazy.
Excuse me, sir. What do you think about the state of the smartphone industry today?
It's not addicting enough.
Not addicting enough.
No, there's not enough reels.
Not enough reels.
Every time I get on IG, they run out of reels.
They're out. You reached the end of the algorithm?
Yeah, dude.
Whoa.
Someone needs to make it infinite.
If you made a small enough phone though, what would happen?
It wouldn't be even good. Wouldn't be good for real.
You have a strong instinct to take care of the people you love.
What you got?
The market is desperately in need of a new, smaller device.
Well, we just showered after a whole day in San Francisco. Now we're going down the stairs to get in my mom's car, to hop in the plane, and that's it. Very easy. Let's go. Really ready to sleep. Off the plane, off two planes, on a boat, going to Shenzhen. The next step. Just got off the ferry, and now we're going to get on the subway and go to our hotel. It is humid. Full specs later on, we can talk that through. Let's just tour the factories, get a feel for them, see if we want to work with them at all. We can deal with logistics later. And going back to the chip, we're not set on that chip. We just want the equivalent of that same power within the chip.
Yeah, I understand. That's what I said to the, which is the one who did, the M4. And, but they said even their best chip that they're authorized, certified to design and to sell is still not reaching that capability, but they are very welcome for us to go visit. So I think visiting them is a must.
The next morning.
Today's our first day touring factories. Went to bed early so we could wake up early and get ready for the tour today. This is the first factory that we're touring of maybe 3 or 4. So what we're gonna do now, just got ready. Austin's getting ready right now. We're gonna go and meet our buddy Harris for breakfast. He lives over here in China. He's been through the manufacturing, vetting, and working with factories process a couple times. Harris is gonna help us figure out what's what with regards to what questions to ask, how do we tour a factory, what should we be looking for. Yeah, we're gonna go have breakfast with them. We're gonna game plan today, and then we're gonna head to the factory. So yeah, should be fun.
We're on the way to tour our first factory of the trip. Very excited?
Yeah.
This is what we think is the most promising, so we'll see how it goes.
So you see, this is the office area, this is the production workshop.
Thank you.
So you see, we use the 5S, the Japanese standard to manage the factory. Japanese standard, like cleanness, organization, and when the material delivered, they will start to check random pieces. So like if they pass, they put in the green zone. Like pending is the yellow zone, and the red one is the rejected area. So that's the incoming material check. Here is a system that we manage the production like each day, like how many sets we produce and how many passed, how many under each stage, like QC1, QC2, QC3, because we have to do 4 rounds of QC total, so we can see like how many pieces are in QC1, how many pieces in QC2, how many passed, how many failed. Yeah. So that's this one not manufacturing use.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. It's the digital system is pretty advanced.
Yeah, so only like we use this whole new system, but you can come and see. This is like the start of the whole process. This is the first station. And here they will put a QR code on each motherboard. This is a motherboard, finished motherboard, and they will scan to the OS. So make sure like this motherboard is able to track.
You're doing QA on each individual component before you even put it on the line.
Yes. If they didn't scan the QR code there, it cannot be scanned here. So in case they miss some procedures or
It'll flag it.
Yeah. It has to go one step. If one step is missing, they cannot be scanned.
Somebody has a bad day one day, and then 50 of the units fail on one thing. Even like, does that ever happen?
They do the QC at the same time.
Okay.
So if they found a failure reply, they come immediately to the.
Gotcha.
So you immediately find out.
Yeah. When it finish these stages, it will show the figures here.
The pass-fail rate.
Normally around 1 or 2%.
Overall pass rate.
After they test all the signal and it will transfer to the phone, the big ones are the QC. Each phone has to go through all these different items testing.
What improvements have you made over the years? A lot?
Yeah. Normally we design our own projects, and sometimes there are some design failures, like causing the mass production defects. So we learn from the failures and we improve in the next project. And also all these processes, including all this system, like electronic system. Before we don't have all this system, just by, like handwriting. So you see, these are our company values, like expertise, how we should do it right the first time, and quality first. So we really want our customers to build a perfect product and start to become successful. So that's our goal too.
They are super solid. Their production line is very fancy. It's very digitalized. And they seem to treat their employees very well based on the salary and the turnover we asked. The product is also very solid. So the product they building, all of them seems very legit, very sturdy, and very durable product. So we're excited for them to potentially be our supplier and see how it's going to turn out.
As a whole, the team seems to be really good. Really excited to work with them, and they were just very open, and it was fun. Nothing to compare it to yet. Yeah, that's our baseline.
Yeah.
Which I have a feeling it's a very high baseline.
Indeed.
Normal here. Look at that.
They are opening it up and testing all the different functions. The general point is that these factories, they're all looking very similar. However, I think different companies have their own focuses. Some of them focus on seems to be more on the ODM side stuff. Some of them seems to be trying to build their own brand more. And I don't think there is good and bad. It's just more to our preferences. Visiting the factory, talking to the people, seeing how they work, it gives you a lot of information.
The dryer held my clothes hostage after not drying them. We're going to look at 2 more factories in 30 minutes. floor is already.
I know it's a very powerful and very good designer. They are very good at what they're doing. They don't do brands, but the designs they're having is probably among some of the best I have seen. And the only thing is they're doing more industrial grade and 2B chips, unlike what we're trying to build, which is consumer grades. The downside is the chip won't be as powerful as we would want it to be. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. From visiting a second factory today, which is one of the best, I believe one of the best design of MTK chips, they come up with the same conclusion with a good and some of the best Qualcomm supplier as well, which is that maybe we don't need that much powerful, like very high, a very powerful chip. So we probably have to think of that a little bit more. Yeah, I think that's it.
Good morning. Today is day 3 of touring factories. Yesterday we learned a lot about what we want and what we don't want with regard to chips. Different factories offer different things. For example, work devices. The chips are made differently than consumer devices, so that prohibited us from using one of the factories. And then the other factory, they just work on a volume that we're not going to be able to grow into for quite a while. Good news is both of those factories gave us the opportunity to learn things about what questions to ask moving forward. We're probably touring between 1 and 3 more factories. Then we're doing a second meeting with at least 1 so far. We're going to take the learnings that we have wrought from all the meetings we've done so far to see which ones are going to actually be able to deliver on the product that we want to build. So yeah, 1 more factory today and we'll go from there.
Also, we talked about full removable backplate versus half removable backplate.
Because then you're like up on the camera taking the backing off. But
Yeah.
I definitely like just doing a smaller removable backplate with the screws. It sounds like you're maybe leaning towards the factory over.
Well, the older chip is just a huge downfall.
That's the only downside, I think, from that, but it's a big one as well.
Yeah.
Why can they not source a chip? I don't get it. How can you have access to better chips? They don't.
It's because they usually do, like, for business. Getting certified for one chip is like $5 million each from Qualcomm. So they simply don't. Because they simply don't do enough consumer goods stuff. So they didn't get certified for a lot of chips from Qualcomm.
Oh, okay, I see. So there's a complex. I wasn't aware of that there was a certification to have the chips. At the factory.
Yeah. Indeed, it's quite complicated.
I think we should try and stick to the design we have on the mock-up, because I truly believe that that's going to be a great selling device, and it just looks wonderful. Like, people are going to get excited by that exact design if we can get close to that. So if we end up going with this factory, that would be my main thing, with just like, other than the chip, would be, can they even do that design?
The big concern is the chip because of the Android supports, but then also because we're only going with one single 50 MP camera. Even if we get a better sensor, our software tuning can only go so far. So if we want to squeeze the most out of it, we just need more computing power.
And it sounds like is going to be a no.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
But you guys were overall decently impressed with when you visited their HQ?
Beyond impressed.
I'm ready to go forward with them, unless you decide the factory's better. But I kind of agree. Like, I'm looking at the specs on this Qualcomm chip, and there's no way we can go that low.
Basically, the process is you have material, you examine material, put it in the warehouse, And then the production, they take the material, they do customization with modules, and then they have like a
classical
assembly, testing functions, vibration testing, water testing, whole machine testing, aging test, re-examine, and then out of the factory.
Every parts we will have a dedicated packing. It's not like if you check different assembly line that most of them were using like a big pack. But we'll make some mistake because different school has different sizes.
There are some very interesting insights on MTK and Qualcomm chips as well. So for instance, the guy said there's really not black and white between Qualcomm and MTK, even for our project. For Qualcomm chip, the good thing is, indeed, the optimization is better. However, for MTK chips, the designers, there are way more designers for MTK chips because it's simply more popular in China and in most of the world, like in most of the use instance, it's MTK chips, and it's cheaper. It's mainly because it's cheaper, the license is cheaper, blah blah blah. So there are way more factory doing it. So the design of it and the ability of these factories are more on the, they're more familiar overall with MTK chips. So in terms of software optimization, on average, MTK chip is better than Qualcomm chips.
Day 4, we just met up with Harris at a coffee shop to go over all the questions that we still have to ask the main factory that we're considering. And we set a whole bunch of goals with what we want to get out of the second conversation. What questions do we still have to ask? What is a good outcome? Where are we willing to compromise? What are our hard lines? So we had a pretty good discussion. We feel really prepared to go into the second meeting, get everything nailed down. Hopefully, if everything goes well, like we're expecting it to, we'll have a factory. We'll have a factory. So that's in 4 hours. Right now, we're just having some very rare free time. Yeah. Check in soon.
Here we are, the first Friday of the trip. I think we're all beat. It's been a long couple days, a long week really. Finally feeling jet lag, but we did it. We are pretty much sold on what they're building. We are kind of hammering out final details today. Well, we're getting a bunch of final questions answered before we figure out if it's a go or no go. We're leaning more towards go. We're going to talk to Will in the morning, kind of see what he's feeling, show him and let him know where we're at, what we kind of gathered from our previous meeting today. Very excited for it.
They give a pretty nice offering to us. They seem quite willing to communicate. There are a few details that we are, we're still hammering out. It does seem like a lot of capital we need to keep this running. We need quite a bit of cash. So, yeah.